Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle-focused wealth coach. How you doing today? We got a wonderful, exciting episode for you today. And we're going to be continuing our conversation about building financial intelligence and shifting it into a lifestyle focused on building your wealth. Because most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they never upgrade their identity that's really running their lifestyle financially. Today, we're going to fix that. So sit back, relax, and unwind and relax with your boy, Ronco Johnson. And I'm going to hit you on the inside with much more. So you want to stick around until the end of today's episode. And I can guarantee you, you're going to have a fix to take into your weekend. I look forward to seeing you there. Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson. Welcome back. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And we're here talking to you today about building your financial intelligence and shifting it into a lifestyle focused on your wealth. Hi, I'm your host, Ronco Johnson, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to be talking directly about continuation of last week, right? Our last week's episode. But we're going to go just a little bit deeper because if you've been feeling that you if you've been feeling the pull, if you will, to shift your life, your habits, the way you're thinking, and your financial future, this really is the episode that I think will change a lot of things for you. So I just want to tell you this before we just dive right in. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. This is a shift today, and I need you to bless someone else, just like we're giving you this information, because it's our mission to grow, and it helps us move the mission forward and move the momentum and grow forward together. If you got that right away, go ahead and put my thumbs up in the comments right below. And we're going to go ahead and get started because, as you know, we like to jump right on in and give you what you came for. And hopefully you got your notepads out and you're ready to go, right? We've got your notepads out and we're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to be talking about today's segment. Our segment today is the real reason people lack financial intelligence. And there's a reason to that. So let's start with the truth. Most people don't lack money. They lack financial intelligence. The mindset, the structure, the identity that they need that is required for them to build and keep wealth. And this isn't new. We already know this. This isn't new. People act like they're shocked when they hear me say that publicly, but this is not new. The principles that we talk about and the principles that I've even shared with you in the past, coming from the richest man in Babylon over 4,000 years ago, it's old. Yet most people still don't follow those principles. And I often ask the question, why? Because they never upgraded their identity that controls their decisions. So you got to think, what is my identity? What is my personal identity? And as I say all the time, when the lights go out, financially, emotionally, and economically, your identity is exposed. So today, we're going to have this conversation. And I want you to really be thinking about what I'm going to be breaking down today, because I'm going to give you 5 hidden pain points that people get stuck on. And this transformational information, I think it is a solution that helps you build real financial intelligence. And if you're on board with me on that, give me a thumbs up. I just want to say hello to you. Thank you for joining us. And we're ready to get started. So that first pain point of the day, our second pain point of the day, is very simple. I should say this is really the first pain point, the first pain point of the day, because even though the opening statements, we think about it, that is a pain point for me too, but that's not today's pain point of today's section. But we're going to talk about the identity conflict. The identity conflict is our number one part today, okay? That I want you to really be focused on. Because the identity conflict in most people is, I want wealth, but I still think like the old me. If you're still thinking like the old you, that may cause a problem, right? That may cause a problem all the way around. And most people operate from the identity that they shaped their survival with. But that's not strategy. That's not strategy at all. So we want to talk about how we can change that, right? We need to talk about how we can change that right up front. And I want to start with the Babylon principle, from the book, actually. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. You should really consider that. Because you can't keep anything if your identity is built on spending. I want to say that very clear. I want to make sure you got it. And you give me a thumbs up if you heard what I said. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. Okay? But you can't keep anything if your personal identity has been created and built on spending. You have to change your identity. That's the lights out moment in this thing. When life hits, your identity shows up first. And you got to ask yourself the question, am I the person who panics or the person who's prepared? Okay? We have to ask ourselves these questions. And I like to think that the solution to that is, if you start installing our lifestyle-focused wealth identity recoder, that's what I like to call it. It helps you shift from, I hope I can, to this is how I'm going to do it now. This is who I am today. Never mind what you saw yesterday. This is who I am today. 24 hours ago is in the past. This is what you see right now. And once you're able to figure out that, hey, the human mind is very much like AI in the sense that we can program it, or we can put the right prompts in our brain if we focus on the positive and recode everything. And just because you're recoding your own brain, you give yourself a stopping point and a reset point, you can change the trajectory of your life. If you like that, give me a thumbs up. From the very beginning, that's the number one pain point. I want to say hello to everybody checking in with us. Thank you so much for joining us. I love you all. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to us when we're able to share this information with our groups. And I know that there's many of you guys, new fans, new visitors, subscribers, new people who are waiting to get into our lifestyle focused wealth community and be a part of our masterminds and all the great stuff. I know you're sharing the content, and I love it. And I love the off the screen conversations that we're having. But if you got kids, if you got family, you got friends and they're struggling, you got people, this is graduation season, you got people around you that have just got out of high school, got out of college, and they're struggling to find their identity. Please direct them here. Direct them here. We got a whole community of people talking about wealth. That's what millionaires and billionaires do. They talk about it. They share it. They don't gatekeep it. And we want you to be a part of that. We want you to be a part of that, right? Good day, Donna. I see you out there. Hey, Sam, what's happening? I'm looking forward to you today. You better get ready. You better get ready, right? So those are our Lifestyle Focused Wealth members that are already in the back office. I just want to say hello to everybody. Make sure you're in the house because we do need you. Everything we need is in the room. Well, let's move on to our second point. Our second point, and I think this is so impactful, your emotional overload. Let me discuss the emotional overload for a moment. It's when you start to feel like I'm overwhelmed, stressed, and mentally stretched. If you feel that way, I know I get that way sometimes. Emotional overload destroys financial intelligence altogether because you cannot make wealth decisions with a survival mindset. It just doesn't work. If I can use a Babylon principle once again, control thy expenditures. You have to be in control. You can't control spending if you cannot control your emotions. Again, that's our lights out moment. So when we're talking about lights out moment, when the real pressure in your life hits you and your emotions start to spike and your emotional decisions that we've talked about before become extremely expensive, the solution to that, once again, is to use our Lifestyle Focused Wealth emotional bandwidth system. Why? Because it's going to help you regulate your mind and builds regulated wealth. It's going to help you stay on track. Things are going to happen. When it happens, you want to be the one that's prepared, not nervous. So think about it for just a moment. Just in those two pain points, if you're that individual that's heard me talk before, and in the last 6 to 8 weeks, you've had a situation that comes up in your life and you say, man, I hope I can do this, versus this is who I am now. If that comes up, how did you handle it? Stop and ask yourself, how did you handle that? Who showed up? Which identity showed up? Did you just throw everything that you learned the day before in the past, or did the new you show up? The better version of you show up? The more intellectual side of you, did it show up? These are the things that we want to know. When you got overloaded and normally you probably feel like you're stretched and you mentally just can't go anymore. And like I said, if you're having a mental or emotional overloaded day, you're probably going to make a bad financial decision because it's going to destroy you financially. That's not the day that you need to be making some important idea. That's not the day that you need to be shopping. That's not the day you buy a new car. That's just not that day. Because we want to make sure you're outside of the survival mindset. Outside that mindset is important. Because again, if you can't control those expenditures, you can't control your emotions. Right? If you can't control your emotions, those decisions become very expensive. And then you got to stop and ask yourself, how much did that cost me? That bad decision, how much did that cost me? I was having a conversation this past week with one of my athletes. And we had just finished a conversation about storing your wealth. storing your wealth. And his support system said to me, Ronco, we're not going to be as strict as you with our money, but, you know, he deserves to be able to go out and make a purchase or two. Let's just say it was a watch. Let's just say it was something like that. If he's just now getting to money habits at 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. I know when we played sports, the very first time I scored a touchdown, or the very first time I scored a three-pointer, I don't run up in the stands and give everybody high fives. There was a coach that said, act like you've been here before. Don't act brand new. This is not going to be the last three-pointer you score. This is not going to be the last touchdown that you score. Act like you've been here before. And what was he doing to my mindset? He was preparing my mindset to don't celebrate this like it's never going to happen again. He was preparing my mindset to stay focused on the goal. You're coming back as long as you stay focused. You've put the work in. You put the time in. You put the training in. But the same thing financially. When you put the time in, you're studied. You understand that we should be focused more on storing our wealth, not saving our wealth. You can't go back to thinking, well, I'm not going to tell my financial expert, I'm just going to use this cash that's not earning a dividend, and I'm going to go buy me a watch that's $10,000 to $20,000. You can't unlearn what we have already learned. That's your neglect. If you neglect that, guess what happens? You're proving that you cannot control thy expenditures. You're proving that you cannot control your emotions. And guess what? That $10,000 to $15,000 today may not seem like a lot, but over your lifespan, the dividends and interest that it could have earned, it's much more than that watch ever cost. And that decision just made you a very expensive decision. Do you see where I'm going with that? Do you see where I'm going with that? I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because if you're able to put takeaways down in the part, if you're new to our show, thank you guys again for just coming in and sharing with us, because I want you to be a part of the conversation. And I am definitely open to you being a part of it, right? I do. I want you to be a part of it. This is why I encourage you to share your takeaways. I want you to share your takeaways in the comments. As we're talking, we need for you to be a part of it. You're the community. You're my family. Say hello to your other cousins out there. We want you to put in the takeaways after you've liked and you subscribed and you become a member. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that notification bell. But put takeaways and put your comments in. That way I can read them online. Okay? And at the end of this episode, don't forget to go down and check out our description notes, right? Check out the description notes and get on our bi-weekly email list. So you can get these articles, these recipes, these tips, and a lot of other things that's going on. And they're financially free to you as a thank you for being part of our podcast, for you coming out and joining us. And, it's real good stuff. I'm going to tell you, you want to be a part of it. So we want to ask you to go ahead and think about joining. Why? Because it's only $16 a month when you pay your annual subscription just to get inside. And we're starting to fill it up with more and more information that you're going to want to know. And you got behind the scenes information that we could definitely help you with, right? But our number 3 pain point of the day, we're going to be talking about lack of structure. Oh boy. Have you ever met that person that you're trying to give them some structure and they say to you, I know what to do, but I'm not doing it consistently? How many of you got family, friends, associates? They'll tell you, I know exactly what to do, but I'm not doing it consistently. That's kind of like saying, I know how to go to the gym and work out. I know how to go and train my body, being a former athlete. But guess what I'm not doing? I'm not going there consistently. Do you listen to that person? Because knowledge without structure is chaos. And we already know that. We know that already. Structure is what turns information into transformation. And that's what we're doing here. Our Babylon principle simply says, make thy gold multiply. When you multiply, multiplication requires a system. When we're applying this information, I'm telling you, we start applying this information. A lot of people don't realize that these things that we're talking about are really principle-based. They're system-based. That's where the lights out moments occur. Because everything collapses without the structure. Structure is the only thing that keeps us standing. It's kind of like the bones in your body, your skeletal. What keeps you from just being a gushy mush? Your spine. Right? So what is that solution for you? If you don't have a system, I'm going to ask you. If you don't have a system, start thinking about how you can install our Lifestyle Focused Wealth daily wealth rhythm. It should be something that you do every single day as part of your lifestyle. It's not what you do once a month or on the weekend. A simple, repeatable operating system for your life. I like that type of thing where you're not thinking about it. I had one of our clients just tell me just the other day, she's got all of her information now. She's got her trust. She's got her will. She's got her life insurance, and she's working on her business. But one of the best things I can tell you that's happened over the weekend is when people call that were really nervous about having anxiety about putting money away in this instrument, our financial tools that we've been talking about. And they call you and say, I just reached my first $5,000 in my cash value account. I got $1,000 a month going, $1,000 a week going into my financial program. And they tell you this. And you can see that they're excited now that they're starting to see it accumulate and grow. Just because they implemented a repeatable operating system for their lifestyle. Never mind what somebody else tells them. They're excited about it. Over the weekend, I had another one of our guests that's always calling me and always checking in. And he says to me, Ronco, I went on vacation using my family banking system. My daughter and I had an opportunity to get together and to use my family bank, and I want you to know that I finally got a chance to use it. I shared with him that I was really excited because I know that he hasn't depreciated the value of the dollar that he spent. I know that he's still earning a dividend on the money that he paid for the hotel with. I know that he did something that he didn't think he could do just 2 years ago, and he created an experience that's going to last in the mind of his daughter for a lifetime. And still didn't lose the value of the dollar that he spent. how much value is that being added to someone's life? If you're watching right now and you understand where I'm coming from, put down. I want to see how many people agree with that, disagree with it, agree with it, thumbs up, thumbs down. And I promise you, if you put a thumbs down, I won't look at it. That's just how we do it. That's just how we do it. Only positive vibes here. Only positive vibes, y'all. Only positive vibes. That's all I'm looking for, right? But we got to start thinking this way. Make thy goals multiply. Multiplication requires a system. Multiply. Can't do it by ourselves. It's not even designed to do it by ourselves. We should never even be thinking. We shouldn't be thinking about doing it ourselves. Right? Let's see what's going on out here. Hey, Don, I see your takeaway. Emotional overload is dangerous. Absolutely. It can be dangerous. It really can be, especially when you're around people who do not care about your mental, emotional well-being. It can be dangerous because it clouds your decisions. And I know some of us are talked offline. You got to think, how many of us have made a decision that maybe you're going out of town, you've done something with some family, or you've been around a person that probably is not all the way positive, and you hang out with them and then you leave and you just feel like, man, I'm wore out. I shouldn't even have hung out with that person. I was feeling so good before I went there. I thought I was going for a vacation. I didn't even get a vacation. It was more mental heavyweight. I was lifting more than I should have been stayed at home. I might have done some yard work. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Sam, I see you, buddy. Your mental bandwidth decreases your IQ by 13 points when you're under severe pressure. Yes, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that because you can see that in just our normal day-to-day interactions with people, right? How many compliments does it take for a person to start feeling good? Keep in mind what I said. Make thy gold multiply. It didn't say wait on it. Make thy gold multiply. How do I make it multiply? If I got to wait on 11 compliments to start feeling good, how many negative comments does it take to feel bad? One. Did you wait on that negative? It just comes to you, doesn't it? Boom. Someone just said something to you right off the cuff. Boom. Puts you in overload. Boom. Next thing you know, you're spending money and spending time on things that don't really matter. But what happens when you start making thy gold multiply? Have you ever been in an elevator where everybody just is quiet? Next time you're in an elevator and everybody's quiet and they're just looking around like they don't know each other, compliment somebody on their shoes, their suit, their watch, their hair, and watch what happens. Most of the time, they'll compliment you too. And if you're counting from 1 to 11, because you need your 11, guess what you just did? You made that happen. You're making thy gold multiply. Those compliments are your goal. Those compliments of making other people feel good is your fuel. And you multiply that and you understand that our emotional package is a system and it requires that level of multiplication. Not multiplication of negative energy, multiplication of feel-good moments. That way everything around you doesn't collapse. That way the structure can keep standing. That way you can get through the day. And for those of you who find yourself in struggle, just get through today. Just today. Hey, we can make it through today. Next week is too far. Let's get through today. Let's win today, right now. Let's win today. and let's be better than we were yesterday. If we could just promise ourselves that, I think we start winning. And I have to be honest with you, those small rewards, those small wins, they add up. They compound just like interest. They add up. And what's going to happen is you'll find that you're starting to make good decisions often. And once you start to make these good decisions more often, it weeds out the negative thoughts and the negative decisions. We start to transfer that negative thought and change that identity to the identity that we're wanting to be and wanting to become and headed towards, right? It becomes what we call our lifestyle focus daily wealth rhythm. It becomes our rhythm. You start complimenting people everywhere you go. It's simple. It's repeatable. It's your internal operating system for your life. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. So I don't want to lose anybody, okay? I don't want to lose anybody. I see the comments going out here, and I'm glad that y'all are understanding where I'm going with that. Okay? Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Because I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. I do. Let's take another takeaway. Be around those who really has your back and can be encouraging about your mental and your physical well-being. Leela, I have to be honest with you. That is so important. Thank you for joining us. Leela out of Atlanta, Georgia, I think it's what was it? Canton, Georgia? Is it Canton, Georgia? It's Canton, Georgia. Thank you for your response. Think about what we're saying today. If you're at home and you've been at home all day and you didn't talk to anybody, suppose you just got out and got in your car and maybe drove to the next little town over from where you are. Maybe you went into a mall, or maybe you went to a plaza or a food court where other people and other energies at. If you're living in a rural area, maybe you slide into the city for just a little bit. Sit on a bench and just watch things go by. Maybe you get the courage to speak to people who are encouraging. It is amazing that the people that you don't know will give you a chance before the people who've known you all your life. Sometimes you just need a chance. Sometimes you just need a chance. For those people out here that are entrepreneurs and you're out here trying to figure out, hey, I'm in a commission business. Maybe you sell real estate. Maybe you sell insurance. Maybe you're just building a new platform in AI. Guess what? The people who give you an opportunity are the people who don't know you the best. So if you were to take these simple, repeatable operating systems for your life and apply this lifestyle focused daily wealth rhythm to all the world out there. Stop dealing with the 10 people you know. There's only 8 billion people in the world. Find you some more friends. Find you some more people who can give you that same rhythm, that same vibration that will allow you to make thy gold multiply. Hopefully I'm making sense to you. I may be well over some people's head. But it's so systematic that once you get it down, you can't deny it. You really just can't deny the results. You start to see how things work immediately. Hey, after the break, we're going to come back with the final points that I want to talk to you guys about. But hopefully this is already making you think, So don't go far. Come back, get your cup of water, and get your notes ready for these final that you're not going to want to miss. See you. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. At L.R. Johnson and Associates, Inc., life insurance was never designed just for when you die. It was designed to protect the life you're building while you're alive. Using our lifestyle-focused design strategies, we know real wealth is not just about numbers on a statement. It's about having more time and freedom for meaningful experiences with your family, business, and legacy. That is the heart of lifestyle-focused wealth philosophy. Designing your money around how you actually want to live, who you want to protect, and what you want to leave behind. When lights out moments happen in life, your family should not be forced to struggle, sell assets, start over, or sacrifice the future you worked so hard to create. The wealthy understand this. They do not look at life insurance as just another bill. They look at it as a family banking strategy, a tool for protection, a tool for leverage, a tool for preserving wealth and positioning the next generation to move forward with strength. Because you work too hard to leave your income, your family, and your future exposed to chance. Life insurance, when structured the right way, becomes more than a policy. It becomes love in action. It becomes leadership. It becomes a promise that the people who depend on you will be protected no matter what. This is about taking control today so tomorrow is not left uncertain. Protect your income. Protect your family. Protect your future. Because life insurance is not just about a policy. It is about the lifestyle you protect and the legacy you leave. Follow L.R. Johnson and Associates, Inc., licensed insurance professionals for more lifestyle-focused wealth strategies. Contact our office to schedule a one-on-one session with our financial professionals today. Good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle-focused wealth coach. Thank you for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And today we're talking about building financial intelligence and shifting into a lifestyle focused on wealth. Man, I tell you, I had so many calls this past week. And people really are interested in the mindset shift that we talk about in our one-on-one sessions, in our masterminds, in our private masterminds. And I'm going to tell you, we're getting ready to launch our public version of masterminds in our groups really, really soon. So stay tuned for that. But our private sessions have been off the chain. And this fourth pain point is one of the reasons why it has been. Because we're talking about lifting the financial fog. The financial fog is simply, I like to call it the financial fog because that's the thing when you talk to people and they're saying, I'm making some moves, right? But I don't have clarity. Maybe you got someone that's thinking about. They feel like they're moving in the right direction. I'm making moves. But when you talk to them, they got 10 different jobs. There's no clarity. They're starting a new career. They're excited about something. They're making moves. But they haven't defined what they want to become so that they can explain it to you in a way that can be received, processed, and then purchased. See, that financial fog is what I call the silent killer when it comes to wealth. Because if you can't grow what you can't see. If you've never seen it, and you don't know how it grows, chances are you can't do it. And if I stay consistent with today's episode, we're talking about the Babylonian principles. Make thy dwelling a profitable investment. Make thy dwelling a profitable investment. You cannot do that without visibility. You can't. You can't. The place that you live, people can see it. When they walk in your environment, they can feel it. You can't do it without the visibility. If your life is out of structure, if you got clothes and stuff all over this dwelling and you come into it, or maybe you haven't dusted, or maybe you got dishes in the sink, maybe you didn't make up your bed today. Remember one thing I said earlier, that these are decisions. And we've been building up episode after episode. So if you've missed past episodes, these are things that we've talked about, where the billionaire told the millionaire, what does he have to change? Making good decisions. Everything starts with making a good decision. When you wake up in the morning, you made a decision to make your bed. When you washed your dishes, you made a decision to wash your dishes. When you made a decision to make your office clean and ready for you the next day when you leave it, when you already have your instruction manual ready, when you already have your daily task list ready, when you already have automated your system so that when you receive income, that it needs to be stored, that it's coming in on Friday, it's going out on Saturday to the storage, not to XYZ Bank or XYZ Mortgage. We're starting to think, when you start to see it, make thy dwelling a profitable investment. Man, because people, they can't go without seeing it. In you, in your dwelling, in your lifestyle, in your business, in the way you speak, in your way you carry yourself. The lights out moment comes from I'm going to show you the lights out moment in this is when clarity becomes survival. That's not where we should be. When clarity becomes your survival mode, then we know we got to make a shift. Our solution for that shift is something that we call our lifestyle focused wealth visibility dashboard, right? It's a clear view of your money. It's a clear view of your assets and an opportunity for you to start changing these habits that get you out of survival mode. We always know that if money is stressful, and stress is the leading factor to fear, and fear is making us focus on, it's an ego trip that's protecting us from something that happened in our past. We got to start asking ourselves, ask yourself the question, what if, followed by a positive statement. What if I put my money in my financial banking system? What if I had my advisor design it where I could put 100% of my money away as a leveraging tool for whatever else I want to jumpstart? What if I start today with my will, my trust, and create my corporation? What if I were to minimize my taxes right now? What if I started my corporation for my kids instead of giving them money, handing them money? Wealthy people don't give their kids money. What if? Positive. And then after you say what if positive, ask yourself the follow-up question, what is the best case scenario that could happen from this? And watch how your mind shifts. Watch how you shift. Your mindset will shift automatically because we're prompting ourselves to think about the future, not the past. We're thinking about the future, not the past. What I did yesterday, who I was yesterday, doesn't really matter when I know that I'm thinking about what if I applied what I learned yesterday today. The results tomorrow will be different. What is the best case scenario for that? The best case scenario is that I can give my kids $14,600 that I was going to pay taxes on. If I have 4 kids, I can minimize my taxes almost $50,000 by giving that money or shifting that money to my loved ones through their businesses. What if I start looking at the gift tax law and I understand that I can give $18,000 away to as many people as I want to, and I start to do it in the form of gifts of life? What does that look like? What if I'm a business owner that is successful, but I got holes in my pocket? I got holes in my pocket, and I just want to sew up the holes. What if all you had to do was join Lifestyle Focused Wealth, right? Shameless plug. You have to have a clear view of where your money's going, where your assets are, and the opportunities that lie ahead. If we could give you that, all of a sudden things get clearer for you. Am I making sense? I hope that you guys understand where we are. Because at the end of the day, now we're talking about the psychological advances that are going to make you powerful. Let's go to the takeaways. Hey, Leela, I see you. Be around people who got your back, okay? And they're encouraging about your mental and psychological or your physical well-being. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. I see y'all making some comments out there. I see it. I see it. I love it when y'all are talking together. I love it when everybody starts talking to cousins online. Hey, listen, if you're catching this online, if you're with us live, go to the comments. Leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. I don't mind. Leave us a comment. We need these comments going. As you can see, they're still there. We like the community having these conversations. Why? Because this is the community of people that are supporting you. These are the communities of people that are helping you get to where you want to go. If you're the only one in the room and you're the smartest one in the room, you probably need to do what? Change the room. It's that simple. Iron sharpens iron. And that's what we love about our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. That's what I love about our community. Is it's just that simple, right? It's just that simple. Thank you guys for all your comments. So we're coming to a close today. And I can't go without just thinking about our number 5 pain point of the day. Our number 5 pain point of today is fear of the unknown. What if I fail? What if RJ's saying this and it doesn't work? What if I'm just not ready yet? What if all those negative thoughts? Fear itself is the number 1 reason why people never build wealth. They avoid risk instead of managing it. That's what we're here for. See, the Babylonian principle is very simple. Guard thy treasures from loss. That's a principle. This is about intelligent risk, folks, not avoiding it. Okay? So the lights out moment for you may be that fear either freezes you or it fuels you. And we want to make sure that you're on the right end of that bargain. The solution from us to you is that you want to use our Lifestyle Focused Wealth Courage Activation Method. And here it is. Fear is not a stop sign. It's just a signal that growth is near. So if you're fearful today, just know that growth is very, very close to you. You're getting ready for a breakthrough if you embrace it. if you go ahead and embrace it. Because here's the truth. Financial intelligence isn't about money. It's about identity, structure, clarity, emotional mastery, and courage. That's what it's all about. And when the lights go out, and they will from time to time, your preparation becomes your protection. And we need to have that. We have to have that understanding amongst ourselves. Because sometimes you're going to be in a situation where there's no one there to lift you up. You may have to be the person to lift yourself up. And how do you do that? You got to be able to prompt your own brain. So if today's episode hit home to you, if it really resonated with you, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to imagine what happens when you get access to our full Lifestyle Focused Wealth Transformation System. Think about that. Because inside our premium podcast experience, you're going to get a lot more. You're going to get extended episodes. You're going to get our wealth intelligence worksheets. We're going to be talking about our Babylon to modern wealth breakdowns. We got behind the scenes strategies that you've never heard before. Identity and readiness tools that you can use to help you transform. You'll have access to our Lifestyle Focused Wealth Transformational Vault and access to these new trainings. Yeah, we got a lot coming for you. And we've built it from scratch just to fit you. So if you're serious about building your identity, increasing your financial intelligence, and putting the infrastructure that is required for generational wealth in place, the next step is really simple for you. I don't even have to finish the statement. We need you in the room. And you should deserve to be in the room. Become part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Hey, that's my time today. I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined us. And hopefully this has been one of those episodes that has been able to make you think and say, And don't forget to share it with your family, your friends. I'm here every Friday at 1 o'clock. Please share it. Let other people know that you're getting ready to be a part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community and be a part of our family. And remember, this is simple. Structure creates access, and access creates a lifestyle, and the lifestyle creates a legacy. I'll see you the next episode. I'll catch you next Friday. Until then, I love you guys. Have a safe and prosperous weekend, and I'll see you at the top. God bless, and I'll see you.